Sixth period. Special homebrew.
All right, I'd like to begin by taking everyone's ideas for our class's part in the school festival.
127 military Acadcmy Festival. Yay! 1023, 1024. I cannot read that correctly.
The festival will run for 2 days next month, the 23rd and the 24th. Equipment setup and the other preparatory work will begin in the afternoon 2 days before the start of the festival. But there's a lot of preparation needed before we get to that point, and the sooner we get that underway, the better.
That's all the more reason to figure out what exactly we want to do.
Why is my mic picking this up?
Some of our options include displays, events, stage shows, and cafes. Does that sound right, Crow?
Yeah,
Crow,
though
my
no
man.
class I know would settle for just some simple display.
His uni got
I mean,
changed.
come on, no one ever said, boy, we better rush to get in the line for that display.
Well, either way, I'd like to start by soliciting some ideas from all of you. We're just brainstorming right now, so feel free to say whatever comes to mind.
You ain't gonna say anything? Look at her eyes! Crow, you're uni! I said I would rather just have him wear his green
Would
uni.
it kill you all to give just a teensy bit of cooperation?
It's hard to think.
I know. It's just...
I said, man, I'm the team leader. I don't need to be
It's
saying
kind
much.
of hard to focus right now.
Nah, he still has to say some things.
You're one to talk, standing up there with your nervous fidgeting.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised.
The board of directors is in session as we speak, deciding what'll happen to our class.
And those of us with family members who sit on that board probably have even more cause for concern.
Worried. They got kids in this class.
You can say that again. We can't even be sure whether there'll be a field study this month.
That's about the long and short of it. With everything that happened during last month's field study, it honestly wouldn't surprise me if they just canceled it.
I can't say I have any particular feelings of attachment to our field studies, but I refuse to accept needless changes to our curriculum, especially with my brother involved in the decision-making process.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
Makes sense to me.
We also have to account for the fact that going on our field study means that much less time to prepare for the festival.
Then why not just not do it?
So, as you can see,
Well, I think you have to.
presents a bit of a problem.
Man, look at you guys taking this all seriously.
I'll slap you, Crow. Nah, man, he's my man.
I probably should have asked a little earlier, but... What's this festival you guys keep talking about?
Look at her. Look at her.
Wait, seriously?
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have gone over that for your benefit.
Every year, the students here organize and put on a school-wide festival. There are stage events, food stalls, and all kinds of things to see and do. And it generally falls to each of the first-year classes to provide the main attractions.
Yeah, participating is optional for the second years, since by this point they're usually focusing on their future careers.
What about the third
Oh,
year?
and each of the clubs generally get involved too.
Huh, that sounds fun. In that case, we have to do something.
No!
We can't just let the other classes roll over us because we're small. You say that, but I've already had one of the girls from Class 1 bluster up to me declaring that this time victory will be all ours. What?
It must have been Ferris. That sounds exactly like something she'd say.
Well, Class 1 does seem to have had it in for us ever since the midterm results were announced.
If it's all the same, I'd rather not see the House of High Arms claim yet another nominal victory.
What you mean?
But we need to account for the fact that our class is markedly smaller than theirs is.
That's certainly true.
Oh, I just noticed Crow's teeth got changed
It'd
too.
help if we at least knew what the other classes are doing.
See? Go spy on them.
Kind of seems like everyone's having trouble staying focused.
Come on, everyone, get it together.
Instructor Sarah?
Isn't this a self-study period?
Oh, it was. But I thought you all might like to know that the board of directors meeting just adjourned a few minutes ago. So I decided to skip along down here and be the first to break the news.
Then?
What about our next field study? Are we still on?
The Chancellor's not the only one with a little too much iron in his blood. Because the board voted unanimously to have you continue your field studies.
You mean it?
Why are you smiling?
So that's how it is.
Even you just smile too.
You know, even though they're always hard work, I actually feel a little relieved.
Considering all that happened last month, we'll need to be especially careful this time around.
Oh, because it's a free trip.
Still, it feels like our field studies are a big part of who we are as a class.
Yeah.
They're kind of a pain, but oh well.
We should be grateful to His Highness and the directors.
That's good news.
Seeing the hard road and the easy road, then picking the hard one anyway. That's youth for you.
Crow, my bad.
It also sounded like His Highness and the directors will be taking off in pretty short order. So I'll let you guys out of study hall early to go see them if you want.
Oh,
If you say so.
I think I'll take you up on that.
I just want to see his brother. But what about the festival? Mother, Dad. Wait, Eustace didn't say brother. Fuck you. I haven't had a chance to talk with you since the summer festival. It sounds like you were quite the heroes at Guerrilla Fortress. Come on, don't tease us. I'll be the first to admit that we acted rashly, but in the end, I have no regrets. I'm glad to hear it. Silence, and it's good to see you again. Likewise. May feel so far behind us now. You have questions, no? It's written all over your face. I do. You were in Ligram. Weren't you to meet? What? Weren't you to meet Duke? Duquesne? Oh, I know what that word meant. It's meant, weren't you? Pause for a second to meet the Duke. Correct. I was hoping to have time to greet you and your classmates too. But I imagine you would rather he not take too close an interest in you. I imagine right. Oh, you imagine right. Still, I'm concerned about the House of Arabelle playing at. And not just us. What are the 4 great houses and the rest of the noble faction trying to accomplish? You ask like there's a simple answer. The 4 great houses ain't as united in opinion as you think. I was supposed to say option. Even within individual families, there can be disagreements. You know that I differ with Father on several issues. But rather than worrying about the other's position, I suggest giving some thought to your own as a member of the family. He's silent. I'm surprised you actually managed to make it here. I was expecting a business negotiation to crop up just in the nick of time like it always did. Time is something you make, not something you find. All the more so if you're in a position of responsibility. She goes blah. Lady Elisa is quite the multitasker herself. You should see her. She has no trouble balancing her time between her study, training, club activities, and hobbies. Of course she doesn't. I'd be disappointed if she wasn't able to manage at least that much. You need to start using your time more creatively. Alyssa, instead of simply doing what's required of you. She goes, I saw the railway guns at Guerrilla, you know, and I saw those Adswids are capable of. And I can understand why grandfather regrets ever making them. Do you honestly feel things like that are necessary? Are you really okay with that? She goes, huh? I think the fact that you've seen enough to ask me that now means that deep down you realized that they're both necessary of this era we live in. Necessary? Well, the opinions of others are only that. Stop relying on them so much. Observe for yourself and draw your own conclusion. That's what someone who was truly independent would do. Anyway. Go silent and silent.
Still, I wasn't expecting to find myself indebted to you again so soon. Without your intervention, the Chancellor and I would have met our maker in Crossbow.
Don't mention it. We're
just relieved you're all okay, Your Highness.
Indeed. I'm glad you were able to focus on making a positive contribution at the conference.
I wish I could tell you that's exactly what I did. I could scarcely find a place to chime in once the Chancellor and the Republic's President got going. Though the Mayor of Crossbell managed to dumbfound even them.
I presume you're referring to his proposal for Crossbell's independence?
Hard to believe it could actually happen.
Well, as long as both Erebonia and Calvard refuse to accept it, the likelihood of it actually happening is incredibly low. Still, they're planning to hold a referendum on the issue to see if the population is in favor of it. So there'll be plenty more chances for disputes to break out over the issue.
Well, neither of them want to lose all that sweet tax revenue from Crossbell. Half of it flows into the provinces too, so like, fat chance the noble faction's gonna take that lying down.
Look at her.
Milliam.
Oh, I swear, this kid has all the delicacy of a rock to the face.
So you're Milliam, are you? Your name seems to have come up with increasing frequency lately.
I just noticed that her shirt is not completely
I
buttoned.
was hoping for a chance to see the famous Eric Getlem in action, though.
Or get them.
Oh, sure thing.
No, don't do it.
Come on, Lamb.
Whoa there. Cool your jets.
I'm not sure this is the best place to call out Eric Getlem. Just a hunch.
Lame.
Objection overruled.
That could have gotten messy.
Honestly, it would save us all a lot of trouble if you could just refrain from saying whatever pops into your mind, too.
Lame.
Oh, who might you be?
Say, are you from the Vander family? The one who serves as the prince's bodyguard?
Oh, did Neidhart mention me?
Muller? Is that supposed to be Muller?
I'm Mueller Vander of the
Mueller.
7th Armored Division. I was with the Prince at the conference in Crossbell, so I'm in your debt as well. Glad to be able to thank you personally.
Oh, so he was the badass bodyguard to protect him during the summer festival.
The honor is ours, sir.
It's an honor to meet a member of the esteemed Vander family.
Ah, so you're the Radiant Blade Master's daughter. And you must be a practitioner of the 8 Leaves, 1 Blade style.
Wish it just be 8 leaves rather than 8 leaves, 1 blade.
I'm always happy to meet fellow students of the sword. Oh, and you must be the young man from Nord who my uncle wrote a reference for.
Yes, that would be me. I owe a lot to Lieutenant General Vander.
It sounds like he's in your debt as well, with everything that happened in Nord a few months ago. Well, you all seem like dependable young men and women. Perhaps the prince's idea had some merit to it after all.
See? What did I tell you? And it's not just Class 7 either. The whole Academy seems so full of life. Perhaps I should take this opportunity to break down social barriers by getting to know all of them in the Academy's pool.
Bro.
If you really want to work up a sweat, I'd be glad to let you run back to Heimdall. If you kept up a good sprint, I'll bet you could even make it in a couple hours.
You'd actually make me do it, too. Ah, cruelty. My name is Mueller.
It's like their hearts practically beat in sync.
That's certainly one way to look at it. I wonder how long they've known each other.
Quite a bit if he's willing to talk back to him.
Well then, I bid you all a fond farewell. I hope we have the chance to meet again soon.
Just trying to get to that free day. On a Saturday, 19th on a Saturday. 3 days have passed since the board of directors handed down their decision, with the assertions that our field studies will continue. We finally turn our attention to next month's festival. However, losing those couple days at the end of the month meant we had that much less time to prepare. And no matter how much we brainstormed, we couldn't think of any really compelling ideas our small classes could pull off. Eventually, geez, I can't believe we burned through another week already. But hey, at least it's the perfect weather for a weekend out on the town. I hope you'll enjoy your free day tomorrow. Especially since you got another practical exam coming up next Wednesday. Sheesh, you couldn't just send us all with a good weekend, could you? It just wouldn't be Instructor Sarah if she didn't throw in a little dash of torment. Wait, Crow's back! Crow's back in his seat! Oh, so that means he probably just took Makia's seat for the time being. And then we have this month's field study coming up at the end of next week, right? Yep, just like we planned. We might have made a few changes to the original itinerary. Oh, itinerary, but nothing major. I could not even. I know what that word meant. I just couldn't speak it correctly. I'll tell you all about where you're headed after the practical exam. So until then, keep on guessing. Will we finally get to go to Ring's home or Emma's place? Yeah, you don't need to make it into some sort of dramatic revelation. She always does, though. Oh, I can't wait to find out where we're going this time. Oh, and by the way, you guys really need to figure out what you're going to do for the festival next month. First years have to participate. So if you can't think of anything, you'll be showing your field studies report instead. What? That certainly wouldn't be our first choice, or even my fifth. Anyway, that's a wrap for homeroom. If you do the honors, Miss Class President. Yes, instructor. Stand, bow. Well, I'm sure she was just joking about putting our field studies report on display, I hope. Either way, we need to figure out what we're doing by the start of next week. That sounds wise, especially considering we have our practical exam on Wednesday and our field studies next weekend. I say, you guys figure it out. I gotta do some work with the student council. If that's how things stand, we should make it our goal to at least have some solid ideas by the end of tomorrow. We also need to check out what the other classes are planning. If we end up doing something that was already being done, you seem totally redundant. Yeah, we should split up and start gathering some info. But remember, we need to find something that works with the number of people we got. Yeah, all the other classes have more than double the manpower we do easily. And they all seem to have pretty grandioso aspiration. Is that what I'm supposed to pronounce it? If greatness were land on number, museum would be full of artworks produced by communities. There must be some course of action that can turn our lesser numbers to our advantage. Yeah, the question is, what? If we had an easy answer, we wouldn't be spending all this time worrying over it. Get it kind of bummed. Well, a little inter-class competition never hurts. In fact, it might spice things up. A little inter-class. That sounds like I'm saying litter. Team, stores, summer uniform. Stores, standard uniforms. Get off between these desks. Important Acadcmy Festival announcement. Only a month remains until Thor's traditional Acadcmy Festival. Those who require particular equipment or permission to sell food and drinks would do well to submit their application now. And as for those who have yet to decide on what they are doing, adios help you, Vice Principal Henrich. Can I enter the classrooms? This seems to be a Class 5's first year classroom. Same. Also we're Pop. I'll check with you guys in a second. Dang, Elliot! I'll check with you in a second too. Dang, girl! Check with you too in a bit. Guys, where are you? Let me see if I can remember. We almost there?